How's it going, fellow traders? It's Magic Trader here, and this is the CFTC report for November 13, 2018. This was the data submitted by the institutions as of that date. And so let's take a look at what we can see when we take a look at gold. So we know that since price was down here at these lows, that we were expecting profits to be taken on short positions, and that's exactly what has been taking place. If you could see here, you could see a big drop from the aggressive short positions down to the 150,000. 214s down to 150. But just this last week, we see a big increase from 150 to 177, and that comes as price was dropping right from the weekly area of supply here. So big increase in shorts to cause price to drop right down into the demand zone. So now we see price rallying up, and we're going to have to wait until next week's data to see exactly what is taking place here. My guess is that they're adding longs. Okay. I think if price continues to head higher, very good chance this breaks, and if that breaks, we're more likely than not going to get a big move like that. So that's what I'm watching for here, and there isn't any strong signs that that move up is going to take place. Right now the institutions are just focused on profit taking. We can see 177, even with the big increase in short positions to 177, it's still sitting well below the average of 193. So then we move on to oil. And so when we take a look at oil, what we can see here is that the institutions have increased slightly their long positions. Okay, they were very aggressively long, been closing them out, add a little bit here, take a little bit off, add a little bit again. No big deal. But what's important to notice here is as price was dropping here, they increased shorts. So that's okay. They increased shorts to cause price to drop right into that ascending monthly trend line right here. Okay. Here's where I think we're going to start seeing a move to the upside for the eventual larger move to the downside. Bottom line is you can see the aggressiveness here. Okay, and that could be just the beginning of them starting to add more to their shorts. Now I do believe that they are going to be taking more off of their longs, but maybe not at this point, because we are hitting this trend line, and so the force of price is to the upside. So we are expecting a move to the upside, and with this expected move we could start seeing them adding longs again. Here is a first sign of that taking place, 554 to 561, but it's too early to see any sort of trend taking place here with them adding to their long positions. All right, but the bottom line is that massive sell-off that I've been talking about has taken place exactly like I said it was going to, and we see the big drop down to here. Now it's just a matter of time to see what the institutions will do with their positions as price plays out. Now let's take a look at the US dollar. The US dollar is not doing much. It hasn't been doing much for quite some time. We see that price drop down right into a weekly area of demand, and they did nothing with their longs and pretty much took off a little bit of their shorts. So bottom line is roughly unchanged. They're just holding right now. They're not really doing anything. They figure that they're well positioned for what's to come, and what I believe is to come is a big move to the upside, right? So they've got 86% of their overall exposure geared to the long side. So they're not really in any need to make any moves right now. It's not like price is hitting any supply causing a move to the downside anyways. Okay. Now we took a look at the Aussie US dollar, and we can see that the push up is really forming well now. We reacted from the supply, it dropped, and then trend line break, and now we're up at that supply again. So as price was consolidating right at the tested weekly area of supply, what do we get? We see longs decreasing by about 2K, and we see shorts massively decreasing. So some profit taking on those shorts. Okay. Continuing to profit take on those shorts, and when they are ready, they'll start adding longs to cause price to go even further up. I believe it's very, very possible to see a big move up here towards this monthly area of supply. Possibly even higher, but we'll wait and see what takes place. Okay? Now we go to the US CAD. And on the US CAD, we had this new area of weekly demand formed. Price came up, broke through this area, and now starting to retrace. Bottom line is, longs are cooled off, shorts are cooled off. Shorts increased by about 3K, and longs as well. So not much going on here. The sentiment still remains somewhat neutral. So just like the US dollar, this is kind of holding form. Okay, it's not making any big moves down, and we can see the reasons why. A lot of support with new demand zones, trend lines, ascending trend lines, a lot of support holding price up, and some pressure to the downside. So it's stuck in a wedge here, right? But just like the US dollar, I think what's going to take place here is this is just going to hold until the bigger moves have been made on the other pairs, and when it's ready, it'll make a move to the upside. It may come down a little bit lower, come down a little bit, or rally up a little bit higher, but I think it's going to stay within this range here before the bigger move to the upside. That's just my guess, but the data isn't really pointing in any directions at this time. So we switch over to the US dollar Swiss franc, and we see that some longs were taken off, but they remain somewhat aggressive, and we see shorts drop one other time from the aggressive 18,000 now down to 15,000. We can see that there's a slight bullish sentiment here, okay, just slightly, and we are testing deeper within this monthly area of supply. So now we're starting to see a little bit of weakness coming in, which is to be expected because we are expecting the euro to get strong, Kiwi, Aussie, so that would cause this to drop a little bit. Okay, and if you take a look here, aggressive, cooled off, a little bit aggressive, okay, just a little bit aggressive, it could potentially drop down to these areas here before rallying up. It's very likely that that could take place. Okay, so unlike the US CAD, when you take a look at the US CAD, you can see so much support below it, and here there's not much. In fact, I think I've already changed this demand zone because it's not legitimate. So it's not supported very well, meaning any type of weakness will drop this hard, and it can drop all the way down to this area here. Okay, so we'll see how that plays out. Euro US dollar, we're getting that really nice push up from the weekly area of demand here. And so before we got that move, we were consolidating before the move down, and we see that longs increase from 148 to 161. Now that's a significant move right there. Okay, as price was consolidating before the drop, we got a big increase from 148,000 to 161,000. Big increase. Now a slight increase here in shorts, 195 to 198, but not as big as that. Okay, this increase was so big that it caused long exposure to jump up 2 points. All right, so bottom line is, yes, shorts is leading the way. Okay, we came from massive long to somewhat short, neutral sentiment. So we could see a bigger move to the upside, watching to see if that is what is going to take place. Then we have the pound US dollar. We see that shorts were very aggressive, and they're becoming less so as time plays out. This past week they dropped them from 88 to 85, and a big increase in longs, and that comes as price was consolidating right here. So bottom line is, we used to be somewhat bearish, a little bit more neutral now. Okay, so not a good time to trade this one because this is very ugly. We need more conviction here. I think we're going to see something like that. Alright, let's take a look at the US dollar Japanese yen. So as price was rallying up into the tested weekly area of supply, big increase in longs from 122 to 142, which caused that move to the upside. And they also increased shorts. Now, possible hedging here, okay? Big increase, possible hedging. Now we see some weakness coming in here into the market. We could see a bigger move. Yes, this has got decent support because it's got the ascending trend line, but it doesn't have the type of support as the US CAD or the dollar, for instance. So any weakness here can cause a bigger move like that, okay? They were aggressive, they took profits. Now they're becoming a little bit more aggressive for that move up. We can see more profits taken, okay? And so we'll wait and see if that is exactly what will take place, but I think that's a likely scenario. The Kiwi dollar, we see the profit taking place for the big move. Let me just close that. For the big move to the upside, right like that, very strong. We've been expecting that for quite some time, since down at these lows. Longs are cooled off right now. Profit taking on shorts, so they haven't really accumulated any type of long position. Not just yet. And we're seeing this same theme play out in many of the pairs. We see a lot of profit taking, but no major focus on accumulating positions to that opposite direction. And that's okay, because this is typically what they do. They'll focus so much on taking profits that they won't be focusing so much on the a bigger move to the upside. All this move here is all caused by profit taking. So we could see a bigger drop before a move like that. That is very possible. So we'll wait and see. We are also testing this monthly 20 EMA with a downtrend on the monthly, so we could just get price stopping right here and then starting to head lower. I'll be watching the technicals to see. But bottom line is profit taking on shorts. We'll see if they start adding back into those short positions anytime soon. Okay? So that's your November 13th CFTC report. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you have a great week, and we'll see you next time. Take care.